G'day, everyone. It's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the round one review. I do apologize, it is very late. I very much agree, but Sunday I was at the footy and at my parents as well. So then Monday I was just absolutely stuffed. So oh, better late than never. So here we go. This is how we went. So for round one, we scored 2,130. Our season rank to kick the season off is 41,941. One out of two leagues that were available this week, and then won my three draft leagues. So if you guys didn't know, if you guys are a new subscriber, this time last year I started out at about 81k roughly. I don't know the exact numbers, but we started out at 81k. We've nearly halved that this year to kick things off. So it doesn't seem like the greatest situation in the world. I mean, 41k, I mean, we won't get a good gauge on our rank realistically until after the buy rounds. I'm very happy with this, and I just have to hope that this is going to be my lowest rank of the season. So we just got to build on this, got to back in our structure, got to back in our philosophy, and do better from here. So I'm actually very happy with this. So yeah, I'm very happy. I think the high score was like 2,500, which is just mental. Let's head into the team. As you can see, I've got the latest patch with the SuperCoach mod, so that is good. All right, so how do we start things off? So this is the final team, by the way. I'm trying to think any real late changes. I was really happy with my team, so I didn't really make any trades or changes to the team throughout the week as it occurred, which maybe I should have, and I'll get to that point in a set later in the video. But I thought we're off to a good start here, and I was just extremely happy with my side. So I just didn't change anything, backed my instinct with some of these players, and yeah, all right, let's get into it. So I'll try to keep this pretty quick as well because I'm sure everyone's seen everyone's round review. Nick Dacos, 135. I thought he was outstanding. I mean, he wasn't outstanding. I don't think he even played his best. Like he scored 135, and I don't even think he was that great for Collingwood. So, but we'll take it. 135. He was my vice captain, so I looped Livingston, and that is my score. So very happy with that. She's a 130, outstanding once again. So, not once again. This is the first game of the season for Harry Sheasel. So, but I'm very content with that 130. I was pretty hot on him ever since I heard that he was going to be starting the season off half back, and I just thought, yep, hard to say no there. Um, Hayden Young scored a 70, gave away a few free kicks. Just was pretty average with the ball in hand. The role is there. He did move a little bit back. Sorry, I'm hearing noises outside my room. But scored a 70. I thought he was, yeah, the role's there. He moved back into the defense a bit later in the game just due to Fremantle's injuries and that sort of thing. So but I mean he's on not high alert, he's a little bit on the radar now currently just due to scoring a 70. Hopefully this backline situation doesn't continue, but he was probably just there because to cover the backline injuries and just the injuries in general with Fremantle. They were dropping like flies. Zach Williams, 51, just really having a bit of an issue with finishing out games, but that's obviously due to limited preparation in the pre-season. I think the bye will help him massively, so I'm not too fussed on him. No, we'll keep him in for now. Should get up to 300 plus K. Marty Hoare, I brought him in last minute. Just who did I take off? I forgot Caulfield. I replaced Hall with Caulfield just because Marty Hall's got the scoring history in the past. So I was happy to back that in. Mature age recruit, really good scorer in the VFL. Been in an AFL system before, so I think he'll be a good money maker actually. I was actually at the game. I was at Melbourne Dogs and Essendon Hawthorn. Blake House, 64, really solid. So happy with that. I think both really, they weren't looking at great scores, which was frustrating because I mean, it was pure luck, but Just didn't have Gibcus or Reid on field due to their respective injuries. And I was just thinking, gee, I'm really not going to get much of an advantage on field even with Hoare and Howes on field. But they really kicked it up. They built their way through the game, and both really good rookies. So very pleased with them. Now, the unfortunate news is obviously Gibcus out with an ACL, shocking injury. Wish him all the best. I think he's a very talented player. And Zach Reid, 15, minor hamstring issue. So it sounds like it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks, but they'll go the conservative route with Zach Reid just because of how many injuries he's had to deal with in his career. So he'll stay for now. I need to hear the week-to-week prognosis on him. I might flip to a defender rookie next week if it's no good. If it's sorry, not if it's no good. If there's a defender rookie that's looking like he's going to make a bit of cash, maybe like a Caulfield or a Toby Pink, that sort of thing. Moving into the midfield, we have got Marcus Bontempelli with a 126. I was going to captain him if Dacos failed. 126, very respectable. I think he needs to average 130 or something. What's his break even now? 137. So he needs to score 137 to maintain price. I think he'll drop down a little bit. Like 724k is a lot of money, and that is extremely hard to hold in money. So yeah, we'll expect him to drop down a little bit in price. Hopefully he can just maintain this sort of form and just not have a couple of downers. So yeah, Bont. Then we got Butters and LDU. Butters, I think he could have gone a bit better, but I'm not gonna whinge and complain about a 117. I thought he was really good. Just eased his way into the game. LDU I was super pleased with. Unfortunately, Tom Green though had to outdo him, scored a 152. I wanted to start Tom Green, but just due to the buy, said no. Maybe I think I think I might have overreacted with the early buy round plays because you just want to pick the best of the best and make sure that you've got them in your team. But I went with LDU and he still scored a 121. Just hopefully Tom Green can't go too massive. I want to pick him up at some point during the year. But it's going to be tough. I feel like a lot of people have got him. I think he's really going to kill me, and that's really going to hurt. So any opportunity I can get to jump on him, I will try to. But yeah, it's just probably a bit hard for the time being. I'm not going to bring him in this week. Just he's got the early buy next week, so not much point. All right, let's head into. We got a little bit more worse news here with Nick Martin, 63. He was shocking. He was shocking. So the role was there. I was happy with that. Just a complete butcher. So now it's something to think about because I think in usual Supercoach seasons without this opening round and early buys, that sort of thing, we could hold Martin for another week, and I'm still in consideration of that. But it has got the thought process thinking of what I could do because there are so many good options out there. You really don't want to miss out on some people. And if you're unsure on a guy like Martin, like I am at the minute, the roles there, it's just hasn't really converted in the first week. So just due to poor kicking. So no Redmond, no Zach Reid, and no Guelphy. So they'll be interesting to see what Essen do in the back line. I'll go through my trade plans. He is somewhat in consideration. Ollie Wines, terrible time on ground and pretty average CBAs. I thought I bought him in so he would play the majority in the guts, but he only played 46% in the guts. Yeah, sorry, 46% CBA. So he's in there 46% of the time, which I'm not happy with. I was hoping to buy a player with like Wines with previous history to be getting 60+% CBAs. Luckily, he did score well, but he is a little bit of a concern for now. But yeah, I'll keep him in this week though. They've actually got 2 really good matchups coming up. Nat Fife, so he scored a 103. I was actually going. I didn't want to fade him, but with my structure, I was actually not going to pick him just because I just can't fit him in. But I did get him in at the end purely due to Henry Hustwaite being not selected, which shocks me as a Hawthorn supporter. The only way I can think of a reason why is because Essendon's midfield, besides Setterfield, that Nash can tag, there wasn't really an ideal matchup for Hustwaite just due to the small Essendon midfield. So that's the only reason why, because he's super talented. But we ended up going with Fife, and the only thing that frustrates me a bit is that my starting team, I've only got 15K to work with. I usually like having 50 plus K so I can make moves if need be. But I was just too happy with this team. But Nat Fife was really good in the midfield, so happy I didn't fade him. So happy with that. Riley Sanders got subbed off for 3/4 time, and then also I'm not much of a gambling man, but I had him in my multi, and I could have won 500, but he was 5 possessions short. So bloody Bevo. Um, yeah, I don't know what to do. Do you put him on the bench or do you give him another go? He's super talented, and if he gets a free run at it, he's going to be one of our best rookies. So don't really know what to do there, but we'll reassess him. If it's another average score again, though, he might even be in consideration at early trade out. So that's something to monitor with Sanders, but I'm not panicking yet. Matt Roberts, 69, fantastic number and fantastic score for Roberts. So I thought I was super impressed with him. Seems like he's taken that Jake Lloyd role. So very happy with that. And he's a very solid rookie to have on field. Kelvin McKercher, I benched him just because I didn't really have much room for him. But I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe you could have fielded him over like a Roberts, that sort of thing. I was never going to bench Sanders, so I'll cop that on the chin. I thought McKercher was really good. I mean, just got a lot of cheap touches, so he was fantastic. Darcy Wilson, 66, scored a lot better than what I thought he would down at the category, because that is one of the hardest grounds to score well in, just due to the fortress that GMHBA is. So 66, got that with 2 goals, but very happy with that. Jai Clark, this is a bit of a concern for me because due to how strict Geelong are with younger players, I feel like this massively puts him in sub potential. This could put him in droppable territory. So I'm a bit concerned by that. I think they might give him another go, but at the same time, Geelong are very strict on rookies, where it's just yikes. That's not going to help him. And if if I have to, I'll flip to Carroll next week for him, but he'll stay there for now. Brody Grundy, 71, definitely a drop off from last week. I thought he was pretty poor. I thought he'd be doing a lot better against Cameron, so that is pretty frustrating. But I've got a plan with him, and I'll speak through my trade plans once I've gone through all this. Max Gawn, 162, repaid the faith for anyone that was doubting him. So I just went absolutely nuts. I did think Gawn would be a good matchup. Sorry, I did think English would be a good matchup for Gawn. So I was very pleased with that. And yeah, he's not leaving my side. I mean, you just got to hope that he plays every week. I don't really want to kick him out of my side at any point unless he gets injured. So very happy with Gawn. Really good stuff. He's just going to be one of those blokes that I think will drop an 80 but do a 150, that sort of thing. I think there'll be inconsistencies with Gawn, but when you do have Gawn for those monster weeks, it will benefit massively. Luke Jackson, 113. I thought he was really solid in the ruck, and I do think that's easily his best position. So signing Sean Darcy for 7 years really baffles me. I feel like you could have gotten a decent return for him, but they're committing to that. Yeah, so I went with Jackson just due to structure, because I could have him uh swap with Gordon Grundy in the rucks when they have their bye. But yeah, Jackson 113, super pleased with that. When he's full-time ruck, he is probably the best forward we have on offer, to be honest. Sam Flanders, 128. I did say in my Saturday review, I did think the conditions did suit him. And then as well last week that Richmond's midfield's pretty easy to get through. So I think it'll be a massive test this coming week against the Dogs in Ballarat. That'll be a real test to see how good the Suns midfield is, and it's unbelievable. But that'll be a true test, and hopefully we don't see that CBA percentage drop from under 50%, which I don't think they will, because it seems like Dimmer wants to run a very strict group of 4 or 5 in that midfield. So Bailey Humphrey's really the main threat for Flanders, but 128, I mean, he's off to a fantastic start, so very happy with that. Zach Fisher, very poor. I'll tell you what, if he didn't have that preseason game, I don't think many people would have picked him, but scored a 50. Looked like they preferred McKercher and Sheasel down back. So that is a problem with Fisher. And I think we're going to need a bit of cash to work with for our trades this week. And I think for a lot of people as well, I think he might have to go. So thanks for the 1 week, Fish. James Jordan, really good once again, 84, super consistent. Really like this pick. I want to keep him for as long as I can because as I said multiple times, but he does have the good attributes to be a good super coach option. So very happy with that. Harley Reid, 78 in his debut game. I'd love to know if there's ever been an AFL player in their first game that got tagged. Yeah, that's so funny to me that he got tagged in his first ever AFL game. Probably not a great sign for West Coast, but yeah, Harley Reid's just an absolute jet. So 78, I might bench him this week though. Alex Sexton, 63, probably not going as well as I would have hoped from Sexton. I mean, he's still going to make a lot of money. He's still going to be a good cash cow, but I thought if he's scoring a little bit better, I think the conditions didn't really suit him in the game last week, so that certainly hurt him. And I think he'll still be good for the run. Now, this is my pod rookie. I think I'll add him to the thumbnail. It's Ollie Dempsey, 96, brilliant. I just love the attributes that this guy's got. So he's a pretty good tank. Can run up and down the ground. He was getting up to the wing half back, which I really liked. Kicking goals, and I just think he's got good attributes to be a good cash cow. And yeah, I'm happy to have him. I know I put him on the bench. It was hard to put him on field, but he was just outstanding. And yeah, I'm glad I don't really have to worry about bringing him in. So very pleased with Dempsey. And then Aaron Cadman, 72 against North Melbourne. He's got West Coast this week, so he should make some quick cash. Do we flick him at the buy? I'm not too sure. We'll have to suss it out. So I don't know. I think one price rise isn't enough to be trading out a rookie like that. So anyway, yeah, so let's go through my trade plans. I'll save my thoughts on vice captain and captain and my final trade decision for the round 2 preview if you guys want to suss it out. So let's get into it. So what am I thinking? This is the one problem about not having DPP with my backline. So with Gibcus Reed out and then Williams with the bye, unless I'm willing to, because it's best 18, by the way, it's best 18. So your best 18 scores on field equate to your score. And the three or four worst score, the 4 worst scores on field doesn't count. So this unless I wanted 21 on field this week, which doesn't matter because it's best 18, then maybe I wouldn't make a move down back because you're really limited on options now because I have to trade. I don't have to trade, but if I did want 22 on field, Gibcus would have to go and I would have to pick up a defender, which I'm not too pleased about because there really is very limited options. Zach Fisher, I feel like there's so many good options available. I'm pretty happy with this team, but there's so many other options available for cash gen where a bloke like Zach Fisher ain't just going to cut it. So that's another question mark with Fish. Nick Martin, the butcher, is another one I want to talk about where I think he'll come good. I think he'll come good. I think he could even come as good as this week, but it's Sydney, tough matchup. But he's another one I'm very much considering to trade out because I want to bring in a guy that I'll get to it later. I'll show you the first option. So as I said, there aren't too many good defender options to bring in this week, so that's why I'm pretty frustrated. Why is it not? Hang on, let me go back to the OG. I know I can't, can I? I want to trade Gibcus. There we go. All right, so Gibcus I think has to go unless I want 21 on field and skip the bloke I'm going to put into the back line. And then Zach Fisher, I think he goes. I think he has to go regardless. So just because his money can be used on other ideas. So this is the first idea of, there's two scenarios, I think, for me so far in my thought process. It's this one right here where I get Massimo D'Ambrosio from the Hawks. And here I get Billings for the forward line. So that's the first option. This leaves me 76K, a spare boost heading into next week, where these first 2 weeks are the most important trades we'll make all year, because my pure focus is on getting as much money as I can out of the squad and turning it into the best of the best. Yeah, I think there's too much ball to go around with Zach Fisher, and then Gibkiss, unfortunately, out with the ACL. Billings, I think, is my number one trade target this week for me, because I was pretty hot on him this season, as were a lot of you all were, but he was named sub. And then when he's played a full game, he did what I reckon, what I thought he was capable of. I mean, not to this extent. I didn't think he would go 119 and take 15 marks. But I did think he would be a pretty solid option and a good cash cow, and could even be like an F7 sort of type. So I think Billings has locked in some good job security now, and I want to get him in. So I think Billings is certainly number one, because my thought process is really just trying to grab, because everyone from Collingwood, Richmond, Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, and GWS, those players' price rises, if they played 2 games, their prices are increasing this week. So it's really the priority of getting like a Billings in, where he's just about to go up in price. Maybe not so much this week, but the week after and after and after. Sorry, just mainly the week after, because that 119 is going to be in his system. And then D'Ambrosio, I'm not massive on bringing in, but there's really not much else, unless I wanted to not trade out Gibkiss, or just bring in Caulfield or something, but I'm not super fussed on that. So this is the first of 2 ideas. The second trade scenario idea is to trade out Nick Martin, put Harley Reid into the midfield, and get a bloke that every man and his dog has got, but I don't, and is killing me, is Isaac Heaney, which leaves me 85K in the bank, but one less trade, one less boost, but I get in Heaney before his price is about to go up, and killing me every week. So 3 really good matchups coming up as well. It's really hard to say no to Heaney at the minute. And this scenario would mean that I probably trade Grundy out as buy, because I don't want 3 premiums with the same buy out of action. So yeah, look, 2 scenarios I'm really, really much considering. Can I do? What if I did this? What if I didn't trade out Gibkiss? Or I could do this: Fisher and Martin to Billings and Heaney. Wonder if I could get. Oh no, I definitely can't get. No, yeah. So it's a minimum of 2 trades for me this week. It's just which one I do. I could do this as well: Fisher and Martin to Billings and Heaney, but that'd mean committing to 21 players on field instead of 22. So I guess that's something to monitor. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below on what scenario you like when it comes to trades for me. It's just more dependent on, do I really want Isaac Heaney? I think Martin will become good, and I think in previous years I certainly would have given him another week, but there are just so many options where I just got to try and bring as many blokes in that I think are either really good value or really good cash gen, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the side. See how we go this week. In terms of how I'm going to set up, look, what I'm leaning towards in trades is certainly this second option, because I just really want Isaac Heaney in my side. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Oh, that's a bit glitchy. Hang on, let me redo this. So if I did this, I'd look to do it like this. So this is probably the scenario I am leaning towards. These 3 out, and then you bring in Heaney, Billings, and D'Ambrosio, and that leaves me 85K in the bank, but 1 less boost. Oh wait, sorry, yeah, I need to swing right into there, bring in Billings, and then get the main man, D'Ambrosio, get a Hawk man in. So let's say I do this and let's see how I look to maybe set up for the week early days. I'll probably bench Reed for McKercher. D'Ambrosio obviously comes on for Zach Reed. And yeah, it'd probably look something like that, to be honest. And then obviously GAWN on field. Let's just say we captain Bont, and that's how we could look with our side. So look at that. I just realized that I mean it's still glitchy the mod. So I just refresh and that the faces should sort it out. There we go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I was going to do a separate video on the leagues because I want to do that every week, but I am a little bit strapped for time, so I do think I will suss it out now. Leagues are starting this week, so I'll just highlight the main ones for my YouTube. So this is the round one fixture. We got Henry versus Adam, myself versus Lincoln. Best of luck to you, mate. Anthony Caminiti's in this league, yes. And versus Trailer Park. Peter versus Jake. Ben versus Harry. Daniel versus Stephen. And so Stephen and he supports the Hawks. Love it. Fish and Crips, he's been in my league for a couple of years. Shout out to him. Sam. Riley, shout out to him as well. I feel like he's a massive supporter of mine, so shout out to him. Mark of the year. You guys are all amazing supporters of me, but I know he's been around for a fair bit. Zane, I Dream of Heaney, fair enough. Versus Spills, I've got Spills in the league. Colby versus my mate Jordan, and then believe this is cause of the ladies' man up against Julie, another Hawker. So that is the leagues kick off very shortly. So get excited for that. And then me with Brad from SuperCoach Pro, the SDS Times Pro League. Got Scott versus Catherine, Lincoln in this league as well, versus Wade, Jaden versus Steve, Grace the Secret, I believe she was in it. He was in it last year. Paul versus Colin, William, who's my mate, versus Brad, Nick, who's also a mate, versus Sean, me versus another mate of mine, Nathan. Got a few mates in here. Ronald versus Daniel, Tom, and another mate there, versus Corey, and then Graham versus Harry. So thank you guys for joining the leagues, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got so much support over the preseason, but the main stuff now kicks into gear. So let me know what you guys think about the team and everything. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Bye.